Jim Cornette just said, "How am I a racist?" Typical white male syndrome. White male syndrome strikes again. The delusion of Jim Cornette and his delusional man worshippers called the cult of Cornette. Now, Jim Cucknett has a heated racial history, and he's also a racist. Did I say that? Yeah, he's a racist. He's also a racist, atheist piece of trash, well documented. Now, for those who are not following little Jimmy, Cornette is in some feud. This is where Jim Cornette's life has sunk to. Cornette is in some Twitter feud with some lower mid Carter from NXT or something named Top Dolla. Probably another bald Samoan, whatever. Apparently, Cornette been roasting this guy, some guy named Top Dolla. Cornette's been like roasting him for like a year, 2 years about like he's terrible, he's not athletic, whatever. I don't give a damn. And then the guy responds to Cornette and says, basically, he doesn't care what a racist has to think, Jesus Christ, can I speak in this video? He doesn't care what a racist thinks. And then Cornette, like typical Peckerwoods, Cornette talks about, how am I a racist? What do you mean I'm a racist? Jim Cornette, are you that delusional to your own history, you idiot? Hit the like button. Jim Cornette is one of the biggest bigots this business has ever seen. Now, this business was raised off of racist white men. This is a fact. You know, you have a lot of delusional people who, and they're not black, they're not Asian, they're not Hispanic, white. Oh, you're crying racism. It's always a white person who's deflecting when you mention racism. Why is that? Why is that? Why does, Mr. White Man, why does it make you so uncomfortable when your history is brought up? Everything has race in it. Everything. Because you and your brethren and your history made it this way. Made it this way. But see, you are who you are, so of course you can't relate to someone who's speaking against you. Now, Jim Cornette has a long history of being a bigot. Not my words, he's shown this in his history. New Jack has stories of Cornette being a racist. Many people in this business do. A lot of them don't say it publicly, like the music industry or any other entertainment business, because it's a secret society. Blackballing is real. Well, now Cornette's not in position, but most people don't respond to Cornette because they don't care about him. That's another delusion of people in the comment section. Well, if Cornette's wrong, how come no one ever refutes his stories? Because nobody cares about Cornette. Nobody cares that much. Everyone's life is not this anxiety-filled, I gotta respond to everything. It's not. Jim Cornette, he has no confidence as a human being. He's delusional. He's an atheist. Literally, he thinks life is about wrestling booking. Jim Cornette's the type of person, he has a meltdown if things don't go his way. There are stories. Kenny Bolin. There's a man named Kenny Bolin. He grew up with Cornette. He's known Cornette for 50 years. He grew up with them. He has countless stories. Cornette would have a mental breakdown if he didn't get his way. Cornette's one of these people, when he gets mad, he gets a nosebleed. Cornette's one of these people, he'll talk all this trash. I would rip your throat out. I would do this with my racket. Yeah, because he can't actually fight. Cornette would threaten Vince Russo for 20 years. How come Cornette never threatened to do something to New Jack? New Jack said F you to Cornette. New Jack skipped out on Cornette. New Jack's been roasting Cornette for many years until his passing. How come Cornette never talked about beating up New Jack? But he'll say that to Vince Russo. Vince Russo is someone who does not want to fight. Because Cornette is a coward. Cornette, on YouTube, there's a racist audio of Cornette saying the N-word for like 1 billion times. But let me guess, he's in character. He's in character. Yeah, These people are so stupid, you think, oh, it's a character. You don't think that certain people are living out what they really want to say and using a character as an excuse? You think in the history of movies, no film director was really a racist and them writing in racial slurs? No, it's just a movie. No. They're living out their fantasies. This is what these people do. People live out their fantasies and use the excuse of, it's a movie. It's a wrestling character. No, it's not. It's a sickness within you, which is accompanied by your denial. Cornette, he got fired. Cornette's not a racist, huh? Why did he get fired from NWA Power? He made a racist fried chicken joke. And apparently he made that same joke back in the 80s. In that good old boys place called WCW. Jim Crockett, Mid-Atlantic, whatever the hell it was. I was so happy when, Cornette, he's such a hypocrite. He's such a moron. He'll talk horribly about Muslims, but he won't say nothing about Jews. He'll talk about Christians. He won't say nothing about Jews. Because you people, you pick and choose. Oh, you know what not to speak on, huh? Hit the like button. I really don't care if you hit the like button, because a lot of people are delusional and they cry when you mention racism. Why? It's a reality you can't escape, and it's in everything. Now, this top dollar fellow, I don't care about him. I don't care about Cornette. I'm making a greater point. And if you can't see the greater point, that confirms something's wrong with you, the same way a lot is wrong with Jim Cornette. He's a coward, always been this way. He's a mark for himself, always been this way. His co-host, Brian Last, another mark, always been this way. Yeah, he won't say nothing about them small hats with his little co-host, but guess what? Brian Last is such a ass licker, such a dick licker for Cornette. If Cornette went on a rant about the small hats, Brian Last would just be there quiet. He wouldn't even correct Cornette. He doesn't correct him on nothing else. But this is the world you're living in. Cornette has the nerve to say, how am I a racist? What do you mean? What do you mean? I was so happy when Cornette has always gotten his. Cornette is a miserable little man. He is. In his personal life, he is. He's also a cuck. I was so happy when his quote-unquote wife was exposed. She has her hind quotas out on the internet. You can find pictures of Cornette's wife all over the internet. And, oh, God. It really makes you appreciate that page tape. What happened to Brad Maddox? Damn. But this is a feud that's going nowhere, like everything else with Little Jimmy. Have you ever listened to Cornette's podcast? It's 3 hours of him blowing himself. Wow. Rest in peace, Lanny Poffo. Cornette's podcast, he doesn't know. Oh my God. Oh my God. His podcast is 3 hours because he goes into these diatribes about nothing. Nothing. He has the same biases, all these things. Cornette, another thing, Cornette is a fake Democrat. He's a Republican. Cornette is a Republican pretending to be a Democrat. If you know, you know. He's a sycophant. I can't wait till Cornette is up out of here. Oh, I can't wait for it. I said it before on this channel. Jim Cornette is the white Charleston White. And with that said, I'm up out of here.